Yesterday, the Madison Community Foundation announced more than $930,000 in grants going to local nonprofits across Madison and Dane County. These grants will help organizations expand their reach even more. WMTV's Eliana Schreiber sat down with MCF's Director of Grant Making to discuss the impact these grants will bring.
Tell us a little bit about these almost $1 million in grants to nonprofits in our community. So that's really exciting. Can you tell us a little bit about these grants that you're awarding?
Sure, it is exciting. Madison Community Foundation has been around since 1942, and our mission is to enhance the common good through philanthropy. And our community impact grants, we go through a competitive grant making cycle where we have organizations submit a letter of inquiry. We had a record number again this year, 95. And out of that 95, uh, we invited 24 organizations to submit a grant proposal. And we're very fortunate because these grants would not be possible without the support of the community. They make it possible for us to have a competitive grant making cycle because they see how important it is, the work that is being done on the ground by these awesome nonprofit organizations that we have in in Dane County.
Are these these grants that you are giving away this year, are these community impact grants something that you give away every year? And if so, how is this year different?
Several themes that came out of our 2023 grant round that started late summer, seeding and preparing new programs. Several grants will have been awarded for new programs and building nonprofit capacity building for major capital campaigns. And one of those programs is Overture Center. They are going to pilot and create a permanent theater program during the next academic year that will serve grades 6 through 8. Only 2 of the 12 middle schools currently have theater programs. So there's such a need, and we're glad that we can be there to assist with piloting this program. Advocacy is another major theme we saw this year. Our hope is we can leverage major funding from various sources for critical programs that are needed in our community. Our largest grant this year was awarded to Wisconsin Youth Company. And with that grant, that's a collaboration between Madison Out of School Time along with Wisconsin Youth Company. And we are hoping to advocate for a movement for more state funding to support out of school organizations in Madison. Not only in Madison, but throughout the state of Wisconsin. We have at least 5,000 kids in Madison, disproportionately kids of color, still lack access to high quality programming after school. And we need an additional $25 million. So if we can leverage this grant as they hire someone to do this advocacy work, that would be amazing. Diversity. Several projects focus on fostering diversity, equity, and inclusion. And that diversity, equity, inclusion includes not only racial, but physical ability and sexual orientation. One project in particular, Arts for All Wisconsin, will pilot an adaptive dance program. They realize there is such a lack of accessible dance opportunities in the Madison area for people with disabilities. So we are thrilled that they'll be able to work with all ages to offer programming that will make such a huge impact on our community. It's all about impact for us.
It sounds like you had a lot of organizations applying for these grants, and only 19 were selected to receive money. So what was the process like of deciding which organizations will receive funds?
Great question. We are very fortunate to have a very active grant making committee, which is made up of members of our board of governors and community members that assist us with deciding which grants will be awarded. It is not just a staff activity. We actually receive feedback and have great discussions with community members about what is needed in the community. And then the grants are voted on by our entire board of governors. And having that process in place makes a huge difference. We want everyone to feel that there is a level playing field for this opportunity.
Was there a particular um, theme or like common theme that you were looking for when selecting the organizations that you chose to give to?
We have 5 focus areas that we look at when we're accepting our grant proposals, and those 5 areas are arts and culture, community development, capacity building, the environment, and learning. And when we look at arts and culture, arts is such an important part of our lives. And there's so there's not enough opportunities to offer arts programming in the state of Wisconsin. And we see that that is so important for Dane County. We need to make sure that we have these types of programs so everyone is exposed, particularly our youth, are exposed to the arts.